Hi friends, it's Katie from Created by Katie, and I am back today with another video. This is in my Not Your Everyday card series where I am featuring some different and unique cards just a step above a basic card. And I thought it would be fun to kind of share with you. So this is video 4, and I'm sharing a few of the other ones here at the beginning. Today, however, I am going to be sharing with you how to make a box card. And I found this video on YouTube on scrap dresses, and I hope that I'm saying that right, and I apologize if not. But she created this cute video, and I thought it was so fun, and I thought it would be great to make some cute little scene stamps. So this that I'm sharing with you right now is kind of my prototype. This is what we're going to be making. I created this one with just some basic white cardstock, and I thought a splash of color would be a little bit better. But as you can see, these cards will fold down flat so they can be mailable, and then they just pop right back up. I thought these would be perfect for some of the littles in our family. They would just get a kick out of a card that popped open and had a cute little scene, especially with these cute little fishies and the little lobster and all the different little images that, I mean, you can totally go crazy decorating this. I thought that this would be fun. I am working with Lawn Fawn's Fantastic Friends stamp set and the coordinating dies. This is a new to me stamp set that I got, I guess, the end of summer. But it's not a fairly new set, I don't believe. Anyway, the first thing that we need to do is cut our cardstock. And I'm just using a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of orange cardstock. And I'm cutting it in half at 5.5. This is what I do for a normal A2 size card. I cut it in half at 5.5 there. And then you have 2 card bases. And this is what I use for today's card. So when it folds up, it's just a little bit smaller than a regular A2 size card to go in an envelope. So now I am scoring it, and I'm going to put all of the measurements and all of the scoring and everything like that on my blog posts, and you can find that link in the bottom of this video, as well as links to all of the other videos in this card series if you are not watching on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the rest of my channel. So I scored it at 3/4 of an inch, 4 inches, 4 3/4, and 8 inches. And I drew some lines on here so that you guys would be able to see, just for a visual effect. And then once you get it scored on those 4 lines, you're going to fold it up, and you're going to end up with a cute little box, like so. Now at this point, how you decide to decorate this is totally up to you. I am going to use my rectangle nestabilities here, and I die cut the rectangle shape out, and then I used it and created a little frame that I'll add to it later on. I didn't score this one, or fold this one I guess, before I die cut it, and I should have done that. It would have made it a lot easier, just because this is a pretty big opening. There's not a lot of lip on the edge there, but that was the only size rectangle I had that worked and for what I wanted to do on this card. So anyway, you can do an oval, you can do a circle, you can do whatever you want. But what I was going for was this aquarium look, and that's what I wanted to create here on our card. So I've got some blue cardstock, and I cut just a regular rectangle shape to put on the background, and then I used my edgers dies to create the water waves. And the only reason why I cut that separate from that blue piece that I just laid down there is because it cuts out the edge like that. So I had to just lay the other one. And so this one I'm going to pop up with some foam dots, and it will kind of cover that little line in between the two there. And it just adds some dimension on the card. You don't want to get too crazy, especially if you are going to mail it. You don't want there to be too much dimension. But you do want there to be some dimension between the front and then the back panel, just for fun, if nothing else. So I've just kind of offset the waves just a little bit and layered them up there. And now I'm ready for some sand. And I just had a piece of craft cardstock, and I just kind of used another edger's die that I had. I don't have any landscape dies, but they are on my wish list. So maybe in the near future I will get some of those. So I'm using this stamp and some craft ink and just stamping this on here just so that it kind of gives it a sand look on the bottom. This is Stampin' Up's Gorgeous Grunge stamp set. So I'm just kind of using that little splatter there to create a sand look on the craft cardstock. And I'm going to kind of figure out where I want it to go. And it's a little bit longer, so I need to trim it off. And then I'm just going to use some adhesive to stick it onto the bottom. And after I got to messing around with this, I realized that I should have put some on the ends there that's underneath the orange under my thumbs right there. But I did that later on. So anyway, I have the sand background in the water, and now I'm ready to add in some of my images. So I went ahead and I stamped and die cut a bunch of these fun little images. I love that the die cuts cut them out. This is one of the first small stamp sets that I've gotten die cuts to match. But I love this because I didn't have to do a whole bunch of fussy cutting. So voila, color them with my Copic markers, and I was super speedy. And now I am ready to assemble these images inside my aquarium. And depending on what you are doing or how you want to create it, you can add in all kinds of fun things here. So I'm just using my adhesive, and then I'm going to use some foam dots to add them in there. I've got my little lobster, my sandcastle, and now some seaweed that I kind of want sticking up. Because not only do I want dimension between the front and the back, I kind of want some varied height on things. And I didn't really plan anything when I was die cutting these out or stamping them. I just kind of did a random variety. So, of course, you can plan your scene a little bit better if you want to. And as I'm working here, I realize that I need my tweezers. But I do have my cute little fish. I'm going to pop him up there so that he can be seen floating across the waves. And now I've got my tweezers so that I can work with these small images because they are pretty tiny, but they are also pretty cute. So I will finish putting on these fun little images. I think any kind of fun, simple images that you would create a scene with would be perfect for this kind of a card. You could, I mean, the possibilities are endless, and I think that this is going to be a fun addition to some of the interactive and not your everyday cards that I am going to be making for friends and family in the near future. I kind of want to just take it a step above, which is why I am doing this series on my video, on my YouTube channel, because I do make a lot of cards for friends and family to send out, and I just wanted to kind of try some different things, you know, just something else, just to make the cards pop a little bit. So I've kind of hidden that little Nemo fish, and then the little shark's going to be coming in from the side. And now I've got this little green guy that needs to go in there and find a place in the tank. I'll get him in there, and he might be diving down to see what's behind the sandcastle. Okay, so now that's pretty much it for my scene, and I'm ready to kind of do some more decorating. You can see there where that sandcastle or the sand popped back, but I got that going on there, and I'm going to put this frame on there. Now, depending on what you guys did for your, or do for your cutout, I had to get my frame pretty small to fit around here. So I just die cut the same rectangle, and then I trimmed really close to it so that it would just make a very small frame around this. But maybe you have some nestabilities or some layered framelits or something like that that would work a little bit better. Okay, now I'm ready to close it up, and you'll want to make sure that you use your tape or your adhesive right on the edge, and so that it is making sure that it is super stuck to the front when you're closing this up, because especially if you're going to be folding it for mailing, you don't want anything popping apart in the mail. So I just put it right at the edge, and then I'm going to line that up with the edge of the front part of my box and seal it up good. Super cute. I am so excited about these. These are just fun, and I was really happy when I saw this. I thought this would be a great project to work on. It's a lot of little tedious work, but they are also really fun, and I think that they are going to be a big hit. Okay, on this one, I added the sentiment on some vellum because I wanted to make sure you could see through it somewhat into the background. But as I was making this, I thought, oh, it would be so cute if I had bubbles, word bubbles. So I'm using these Stampin' Up! Dies that I had, and I die cut the vellum word bubbles and then the little bubbles coming from the mouth. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on that. And I chose the Best Fishes sentiment. And I'm sorry that I wasn't in the screen as I was doing this, but I forgot to zoom back out, so I apologize. I got my block and I was thinking, okay, you can mask this off. However, one of the great things about these kind of stamps is you can just cut them. So I cut those two words apart, and I can use each one separately, but you can also put them back together very easily. There we go. And use them later on if you want to. But I love that they're versatile like that. So I can put the Best Fishes on top of each other. And I'm super excited that I had these little bubble word dies because I think these are going to be cute coming out of the little fishies' mouths. Alright, so now I've got that. And vellum is hard to adhere to projects without seeing anything. However, this tape that I've got here, it's like the super sticky tape. I'm using a super thin one, and I don't seem to have a problem with seeing that in, behind the vellum. So I'm going to use that, and I think it's going to work perfectly. And if I place it just right behind the black letters, you shouldn't be able to see it. Normally Memento ink doesn't smear, but I was really afraid that it might, so I used the end of my tweezers there to seal it down. And then I've got to put these on there, and I decided that the little orange fishy was the one who was saying this. Thought he was pretty cute. I had originally had kind of wanted the little crab to be saying it, but he was too far out of the way. Oh, and excuse my clock. I should have paid attention to the time, but it's chiming in the background, along with the barking dog and the kids running around, but that's just life here at the Skiff Farm. Okay, I'm going to get these little word bubbles on there, and then I am almost done with this card. There we go. How cute is that? The only thing that I have left to add, and I remembered it a little bit later on, is the little jar of food. I thought that would be kind of cute on the front. I'm making sure that all these guys are going to stay so that they can be stuck in the mail and sent off for a fun birthday. There's our food, and that is pretty much it for me and my card today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you check out the rest of the videos in this card series as well as more videos to come. I have some other great things coming for you this fall, so I hope that you guys stick around and enjoy my YouTube videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.